Happy Friday evening, YouTube. God, I'm on a roll. Haven't been posting this much recently. Yep, I'm forcing myself to go out again tonight, which is not easy for me. Uh, but I'm forcing myself, so I got dressed. But as I was getting dressed, I was thinking about something. I was thinking about an idea. So I had done like probably years ago. I had talked about like the difference between David Goggins and Abraham Hicks, and that Abraham Hicks would say everything comes to me with ease, and David Goggins would say life is suffering, it is suffering, and stay hard. And not that I'm latching on to either side, but I have to say something. I have to say that I do believe that it is harder. There are some choices that are harder than others. There are some choices that take a lot more planning than others. There's some choices that have more risk, that have more risk involved than others. You know, it's like I often make this comparison to our goals and like going for the Olympics. Like we're going to be an Olympic champion. And I make that comparison, you know, that we're not just going, you know, to play in like a certain league. Like we are going because we want to be the top. We want to expand ourselves to the best of our ability. We want to stretch ourselves to our potential. And that's what makes like masters. That's what makes champions. That's what makes people the CEO of companies. That's what makes us like really great. Are people who are really great, would they say that it was easy? A lot of times they had to make the harder choice. They had to make the harder choice to give up what it was that they wanted, maybe in the temporary, for the future. So they had to, you know, depending on what it was they were trying to master, they had to, you know, I have this example from somebody in my life that is no longer in the physical realm that I adored. I adored this person. And one of the things that he did really well was he used to build homes, but we're not just talking about a home. We're talking about like a fortress. And it took so much more of everything. It took so much more imagination. It took much more resources. It took like buying the land, because he couldn't just buy a lot of land anywhere. He had to buy a lot of land that was going to match up with his vision. So he buys this lot of land, and then he wasn't just going to build any regular house. He had to build a magnificent house. And then he was kind of a bit of a control freak. Loved him. He was a bit of a control freak. So he was like the foreman of everything, and he would subcontract out everything. But he had to hire he had like a general plan, but he had to hire an architect. And then he had to like get framers, and he had to do all these different things, and he built this architectural thing of beauty. It wasn't just a house. So it's like I'm sitting here, you know, after 4 years, you know, I've been talking about this for a while, you know, like just having this dream of this life. Having this dream of this life, and it's been a while. It's been a while in building. And there's some aspects of it that have been hard. It's been hard to wait. It's been hard to keep my belief. It's been there have been times where I just wanted to give up and then just settle for what is instead of what could be and what was my dream. And then I have this thing that I talk about, like where the cool part about the Olympics is that it was hard. That it was hard. That they had to practice and practice and practice and practice and master and practice their skills to be the best, to like master whatever it is that they were trying to do. And that was the cool part, because then when you get to the top and it comes into your actual reality, the sweetness. I know that we're always going to be moving on to other mountains when we reach the plateau of the one, and I know that I will have other things that I make the joke, like, is world peace too big of an intention? Is world peace too big of an intention? But I do have a goal in my mind, and it's going to be so sweet, and then I'll be moving on to other goals. But the beauty is in that it was a hard thing. So to master a hard thing is so much sweeter than just being with something that we just settled for. Not to say that just a sweet life isn't a good thing. It's just that I don't know what it is about me. I don't know what it is about me that I have this fire that is just burning in me. It's just burning. And I won't settle. And so anyway, for what that's worth, oh boy, that was a intense one. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll be back.